Hey, welcome to my journey. Today we're going to start going through a book. This book right here, You Gotta Eat. I found it at the thrift store. A lot of diet books, to me, are just full of gobbledygook. They go on and on and on, and they give you statistics and all this deep information. And by the time I might get through part of the chapter, I've already forgot what I started with because it's more involved than I'm prepared to give of my time. But I thumbed through here, and she just has short little sections for a thought. And I thought, you know what? I believe this is something we could gain some information out of, something useful. It says, a dietitian's common sense approach to facing life's health and nutrition challenges. It's by Linda Clancy Kaminsky, MS, RD, CDE. I looked those up to make sure what they were. Masters of Science, so she got that. She's a registered dietitian and a certified diabetes educator. She has been in private practice since 1999, and this is a 2011 book. But I don't feel like it could be dated as far as trying to get healthy. So I went through the first four. Oh, what? Look at there. I didn't realize it is signed by her. Y'all know how I feel about a signed autographed book. Well, that's just extra fun right there. So anyway, I went through the first, I think, 4 thoughts and took notes, and I thought we would just work ourselves through this book. Maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, however. But I took my notes, and I'm probably going to be doing a lot of reading because I don't want to misrepresent the book. I mean, I can give you my opinion, but I want you to know what I wrote down is what came from the book. So, hold on. Her first one is entitled, What Do I Eat? So she's talking about what she eats as all these things. So she eats healthy most of the time, but does not deprive herself of what she wants. I thought that was huge for a dietitian, registered dietitian, Masters of Science, all that good stuff, to say she doesn't deprive herself. Food is intended to be savored and enjoyed. Deprivation will ultimately lead to binging and excess. I can believe that because I've done it. I've gone on diets that have restricted certain foods, and it's not long. I'm binging on them foods. I'm giving up on whatever I'm doing because I have been restricted. And probably the best way to get me to eat something is to tell me I can't have it. I'm just that personality. When she's out with friends, she said her friends are like, oh, well, maybe I should have ordered this. I should have ordered that. She says, no, she's off duty and she does not scrutinize their food. She has wine, fun, and orders what she wants. She just eats it in moderation. So I guess that would be like ordering, let me find out. Got on the wrong page, and so I got some in between. Maybe eating half, splitting a dish. She just doesn't go all hog wild. The key is not overindulging. The secret is finding which indulgences you are satisfied with in small amounts and keeping those on hand instead of the ones you go crazy with. Hers was M&Ms and something else. I remember M&Ms. She said she does not bring them in the house. That's me. Now, I can find snacks. I've got snacks that I thought I would, not snacks that I go crazy over, that I thought I could do in moderation, but I was getting to where I was eating too much. Little Debbie's, y'all know, is that one thing I cannot bring in. I cannot, that is not an every now and then indulgence. That's one that I just will eat the whole box. So the trick is finding something we like that we can have a small indulgence in. The second one, planning ahead. That's a hard one for a lot of people. I meal prep, of course not this week, and try to get things to have on hand at home, but I don't always do like I used to do, have things in my pocketbook that I might need to eat when I'm out and about, instead of thinking, oh, let me drive through, which I hadn't done that in a long time, but that's where your mind goes. So she says, what's work and leisure time being different day to day because she's got a schedule that's just like work in the morning, work at night, do this, do that. She has to pre-plan her meals and snacks. She makes sure she has plenty of healthy choices on hand at all times. That is one of the things I've got to practice on. And the thing about it is, healthy choices for me is not fruits and vegetables. So healthy choices for me are going to be mostly prepackaged things because there's not a lot of fruits and vegetables I'm just going to go grab and eat. And y'all know that about me. If you've been with me any length of time, you know my aversion to vegetables. Me and David were talking about that this morning. We like southern vegetables. Okra and greens and beans and taters. That's the kind of stuff we like. So trying to eat that other stuff, buying it is just wasting it. So I've got to figure out like what would be my healthy go-tos to have on hand. She carries food along with her depending on where she'll be and how long she'll be there. She also packs for emergencies. She says nuts, trail mix, and Lara bars. I didn't know Lara bars had been around that long. 2011. Now this is what she says. She says she has a high protein, high fiber breakfast to hold her to lunch. She gave a sample day. And it was just a different day, you know. However her day went, she put a sample day in for that day, and she didn't have any snacks. And she said that she attributed to that high fiber, high protein breakfast that held her over to lunch. Then she says when she gets to lunch, she often has a big salad with protein. It takes longer to eat, which slows her down and helps fill her up without overeating. It's easier to overeat when you eat too fast, and your stomach and brain don't have time to determine you're full. I have that problem. Even with a smaller stomach, I have that problem. I can scarf some food down. I think I wait, even though I snack, I should try to go back to where I was eating every 3 hours just to keep a steady supply of food. I did so much better then instead of thinking in my mind, oh, well, I'm going to eat breakfast and I better not have a snack until lunch because you just don't do that. That's not right. No, they say, no, you don't need no snacks. Well, I think some of us do and some of us work better when we have a snack. I know I have to have a snack in between lunch and supper because it's so far apart, like 7-8 hours. So I have to have snacks then. She says this one is the third one. A meal that makes itself. Keep healthy foods on hand for when you're out late or too tired or don't have time to cook from scratch. So she cooks from scratch, but she keeps things to help her when she don't have the time or she don't feel like it. She's running late. She had a late night. She keeps things. This is the example of what she made a certain night that she came home late. She had a box of pureed tomato and red pepper soup. She heated that up. She put a can of Great Northern beans and some pre-washed organic spinach leaves. And she had that soup. And she said she had some left over for lunch or something some other time during the week. She also keeps a few lean cuisines in her freezer for emergencies. She said it's better than the drive-thru. That's what I say about the way I cook. I don't cook from scratch. I use convenience foods to help me, but it's still better than going out to eat all the time. That's how I look at it. Number 4, weekend challenges. Can we get a witness there? Oh my gosh. Weekends are my worst because David's home. And when he's home, we don't have a routine. When we have a routine, it's much better. When he's home, there is no routine. It's just whatever. It's all up in the air. I didn't mean slurp. So many weekend variables affect your weekend eating. Here's some of the variables. You have social activities. Some include alcohol and restaurant opportunities. Greater tendency to skip meals because you might get busy with home projects and things like that. Eating out while running errands. Have we all been there? Oh, well, while I'm over there, so I'll run through here and grab me a little something. My opinion, that could go for those fancy Starbucks drinks too. Them high calorie, albeit delicious drinks. Says so you're more likely to eat more calories and make less healthy choices when you're faced with all these variables on the weekends. That kind of gets you into a place where you can make some damage. The key is recognizing your behavior and making the necessary adjustments to help get you back on track. Recognizing your behavior. So she was talking about she had one of those days. She had her day was just discombobulated. She says, but she does not try to be hard on herself or feel guilty or beat herself up. She knows she achieves balance overall and doesn't eat like that all the time. So while she had a not so perfect day, her overall diet is a nice balance. And so she doesn't go to these places where she beats her up and she talks bad about herself and all these things. The key to breaking unhealthy habits is to become aware of situations that lead her down a troubled road. Example, the next time she knows she'll have late dinner, that was on that day, she had late dinner, and she talked about how much she ate. She ate too many warm pitas, all this, that. Next time she knows she'll have a late dinner, she'll have an apple, yogurt, or a handful of nuts about an hour or so beforehand. That would keep her from overeating at that late dinner. So that is what I took notes for today. The one that gets me is the key to recognizing your behavior is making the necessary adjustments to help get you back on track. So we got to recognize when we go off the rails, when we get off track, we got to recognize what caused that, okay? What can we do to fix that? So when, let's just say, in the mornings, if I got something to do or I run off to the store right quick and it turns into more of a longer day ordeal, I don't have breakfast, I don't have lunch, I get home and I just start grabbing whatever I can find because I'm famished. I'm not one of these people who can skip breakfast. I've skipped lunch and not really realized it before, and it's been okay. But I'm not one that can skip breakfast and have a good outcome. So while I recognize that about myself, I have not taken the proper steps to fix it, except this week. I did. I know that on Wednesday's my grocery day. I get up, I have my groceries delivered at 8 o'clock just because I'm up and I want to get them, I want to get my filming done and all that. And I wouldn't eat breakfast. And then I'd have my food line pick up. And then I'd get it, and then I come in, I film it. And then before you know it, it's lunchtime because I've been doing all this mess. And I'm famished. So this week I said, get your protein drink and have that for breakfast. And I did. And it helped. It helped tremendously. When I was going through the early stages of bariatric surgery, I drank a lot of the protein shakes. And they'll help. I don't rely on them as my everyday source of protein, but I rely on them as, okay, here's going to be a period of time where you're not going to be able to eat. Make sure you at least have a drink, a protein drink. And that's what I did Wednesday, and it helped me. So that's where I recognized it, and I took a step. Think of something that gets you off track. Maybe it's at night and your favorite TV show comes on and you equate that favorite TV show with chocolate. And a piece of chocolate, you're fine. That's your indulgence that's not overindulged, but you're indulging yourself to keep from overindulging. But guess what? You binge that chocolate. You eat a whole pack of Reese Cups in a bag. You got to figure out how to pull apart the TV show and the chocolate and not feel that need that when you watch that show, you need that food. You've got to figure it out. That's not something I can tell you what to do. That's something you got to do on your own. You've got to figure out, okay, can I eat one Reese's cup and then make popcorn, or eat one Reese's cup and, I don't know, you might want carrot sticks. Not me. It's not going to happen. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe one day. Not today. So I think that's what I would task you with. I would take away from this little short bit to not deprive yourself from foods that you like, unless, and we have talked about this ad nauseum, it's a trigger food. Everybody knows what their trigger foods are. You don't have to play games with yourself. You know what your trigger foods are. So you don't need to bring those in the house. But if you have other things that you can indulge in that make you feel like you're not so restrictive, and you can eat them in moderation, then figure those things out and bring those things in. Keep from depriving yourself. And the second one is figuring out how to get yourself back on track. Recognize those things that cause you to go off the rails, and try to fix them before you do go off the rails. Try to stay in your lane. Fix it before you leave your lane. Fix it while you're in your lane. So that is what I got for you today from You Gotta Eat. Listen, that title's what got me. You gotta eat. How many times have you heard somebody say a smoker don't need to smoke, but a food addict needs to eat? Yeah, I can talk about smoking because I quit. And honey, I was addicted to smoking. Oh my gosh, I loved smoking. I loved holding it in my fingers. I loved drawing on that cigarette. I loved inhaling that smoke. I loved blowing out that smoke. I loved everything about smoking. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did. And I, to this day, I am not even joking you, will do something that was associated with smoking, and I think, get yourself a cigarette. And I have to stop and tell myself, you quit smoking. I am a lifelong smoker who just happened to quit in 2005, but I am still a smoker. Ain't that what they say about alcoholics? You're always an alcoholic. You're just maybe not practicing. I don't know the word that you know what I'm saying. So that's why this hit me. You got to eat, because we got to eat. So we got to figure out how to keep the food in our life, but navigate that food in a way that it doesn't cause a detriment to us. So anyway, that's all I got for you on this one. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a nice, easy read. She's easy to understand. She doesn't get all technical with you, and that's what I like. So I think you might be seeing this on Monday. I won't have any. Yeah, Tuesday is our tag. I don't know if David will be doing the tag with me or not. He's busy down working on the garage trying to get it fixed so we get the tractor and the lawnmower and the tiller in there. It's a never-ending cycle of things to do. So I don't know if he'll be in it with me or not. But anyway, Tuesday will be a tag. So see you then.